Underdog Daily, the Badge Bros. Well, just one bro today, an OG RotoRun SoloRun. Nez dealing with some real world stuff right now. Had a nice meeting with him this morning. Really excited about the future, guys. Really excited. We got some fun stuff coming your way. We're going to have an added, probably starting next week, maybe the week after, we're going to add an additional pre-recorded football show to the program for you guys. We got some more plans for some member-only stuff, potentially using that pre-record to be member only first and then going live to the public after. So lots of fun stuff coming your guys' way. Pretty exciting times right now. I imagine a lot of you are rolling on over from Pete's show, the Best Ball Bash there, and he's doing the randomizer there with CD Carter, one of the OGs in the industry, one of the GOATs there. Mad respect to him. But our friend, man, Pat Moore Poker, been a long time member around here, got the call onto Pete's show today. So shout out to him. Did a really good job there. If you guys haven't checked that one out, please do so after this one. I'm going to talk. We got NHL Stanley Cup Finals starting tonight, a rematch of last year. That's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to watching that tonight. We'll build out a little pick'em for that. We'll do some home run pick'ems, of course, because that's what we do. We got 10 games of MLB. You guys are so sick that by the time I woke up and tried to get in the daytime diamond, it filled like 2.5 hours prior to lock. Just insane. Mad love in the streets right now for MLB stuff. But I see that the Angels here and the Red Sox are going nuke in the first inning. Great hitting conditions. Couple housekeeping things. Today is the last day for the marathon promo. So you spend $105 on 7 $15 entries into the marathon. They can be fasts or they can be slows, and you receive one BBM entry for free, although not limited to one BBM entry. It could be 5 super flex puppies. So it's basically an additional $25 for your 105. So I jumped in, 10 of the marathon slows there. So I earned myself the bonus cash. So looking forward to that. Oh, I'm seeing on the right-hand side here that Coach Speak Index has Field Yates on the program. Wow, man. Everything coming up big for Underdog community right now. Another one that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention, our very own Nez joined Pat Mayo and did an Eliminator breakdown with him. So if you guys want to check that one out, I retweeted that one earlier. It's on all of the Mayo Media Network feeds, and I will tag it on the Badge Bros featured on below somewhere there. One other macro note. If you guys are looking for, I will show you on the website here. But obviously, if you guys have live teams here in best ball remaining for NBA and PGA and NHL, they've all advanced now. So if you click on the NBA tab, if you guys are looking in iOS mobile, you might not be able to see your teams right now for the dance and for Gills Arena. Just go ahead and update your app. You can see in your app. Let me see if I can do it for you guys in real time here. If you click in the bottom right-hand corner on the account button in the bottom right-hand corner, there you go. Boom. On that account, you could scroll all the way the F down to the bottom and you can see what version of the app you have right now. Make sure you have version 25.21.0. Okay. So there was a new iOS update this morning. It didn't automatically happen for me. I had to go in to the iOS store and then update it myself. But if you go ahead and update it like that, you guys will be set. You'll have all of the leaderboards. You will have all access to that. They pushed through a big update this morning. Yeah, Tech Lord RotoRun. This is the guy in charge. Yeah. So those were my macro notes for you guys. Get in the marathon. Last chance is midnight Eastern tonight. It's actually 11:59. So that's your last chance for that one. Pre-recorded series starting next week. We'll have more info on that next week for you guys. Also had a meeting this morning. Pete said it on his show. We had a meeting with Pete this morning. We're working on a fun side project to hopefully be released prior to the NFL season. So really looking forward to that. And then update your apps. 25.21.0. Update them there. And now we can go into everything that happened last night. Some love for Emwald in the chat here, tied for 7th in the MLB slate last night on just 7 bullets. Unbelievable. Love that. 71% Corbin Carroll. Homered twice last night, was the guy you needed. Him and Ketel Marte for that skinny stack. The Tech Lord guy who broke his thing. Alan asking, did we use the extender boost yet? No, we will do that together. Nez and I will be on the show together. We'll do a little bit of an NBA Finals preview, we'll maybe do one of the cash game lobby contests and a couple of the pick'ems, talk through NBA Finals a little bit, and we will build out the extendor for tomorrow there. So if you guys are looking in the pick'em lobbies, that extendor, you got 1 day and 6 hours to use that one, but make sure you use it for game 1, because if you don't use it for game 1, you're not eligible for game 2. You're not eligible for game 3. So we want to extendor this entire series here. Schwarber sold last night. Yeah, that was unfortunate. The Phillies put up 8 runs and Schwarber didn't help. All right. Loving the GMs in the chat. Loving everybody roll through. Love seeing the badges. So many members in the community these days. Mad respect. Thank you so much to you guys. We're going to be making right by you guys going forward. Don't worry. Lots more no strip Nez. Lots more of these members only for an isolated slate kind of thing. But for today, we got to do the results of last night. I just played the main contest. I told you my goal was 50. I only got to 44 there, but really liked my exposures and really liked how I played. I kind of soft faded the Corbin Carroll, and it killed me. I thought we were going to get Strider and Kirby back to their original forms, and they're not right now. So I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Never pitcher ever again. Never injured pitcher ever again. Is that going to be our new thesis here? Because I'm thinking back to the Dinger Streets right now, and all of those guys who had injuries or injuries crept up in spring, I can't name a single one of them that's going nice right now. Can you guys name a single pitcher who had any injury related concern or coming back from injury who's going nice right now? I mean, maybe Robbie Ray, but at least we saw it from Robbie Ray last year. Maybe Jacob deGrom, but at least we saw it from Jacob deGrom last year. So, yeah, I don't know. Here, my guy Drew. If you know, you know. Drew is back. Yeah, 44 entries for the great Todd Bertuzzi, that West Coast Express. You love to see it. Daz Cameron with a nuke on the morning slate. Big time tanks going down. I did a couple of the pick'ems for the morning there. Those are the dead ones from yesterday. Live pick'ems. Let's see. Do we get any homers? No, we did Joey Ortiz and Spencer Steer in that one. And then I did this one for later. We might have to run that one again so I could share it with you guys. But we're doubling down on that Royce Lewis to go alongside that Jorge Soler. Good to see that they have 6 runs in the first 2 innings, and Jorge Soler does not have a home run. Great stuff. Lots of home runs being mashed on this morning slate. Hitting conditions, in particular in Boston, were incredible. That Reds lineup didn't look all that great going against DL Hall, who was, the prize acquisition of that Corbin Burns trade. That Reds lineup, even though it was right-handed laden, did not have Ellie De La Cruz, who went on the bereavement list there. We talked about that yesterday. Last night, shout out to our guy Chris, man. Chris always hanging out in the chat there, dropping good Todd Bertuzzi jokes there. Good Canadian kid from the Pacific Northwest here. Chris taking it down. Freddie Peralta, I was wrong, guys. I was wrong on fading Freddie Peralta last night and wanting to play Spencer Strider and George Kirby over him. I was flat wrong. But this Philly stack that we talked about, doing the infielders without Schwarber, we specifically talked about that on the show, how only me and Car Park were doing it early Well, apparently Chris was doing it as well. He uses Ronald Acuna Jr. as the one-off. It really didn't matter because the two mini stacks you needed to get right were Harper and Turner and Marte and Corbin Carroll, all of them hitting, well, three of them hitting 2 home runs, and then Bryce Harper hitting 1 home run and having another, what was it? 2 walks and runs scored. So, yeah, beautifully well constructed lineup here. Nice to see a 2-2-1 get home on these larger style slates. Shout out to Emwald, who's up here. He was hanging out in the chat there. If anybody else is up here, we got Blaze Bubble, we got the Shaded Weaver, Stenfire, we got Sam Olson, as always, finding his way up here. And the Wood is back. He is back in the streets down here. Actually, speaking of the Wood, he ran the S words on how the dance finals is going to turn out. And I think in his 10th out of his 10,000 runs of the S words, he finishes first or second in like 9,000 of them, or second or third. He finishes it like in 9,000 of them. So the Wood is in a good spot in the dance apparently as well. Yeah. There we go. Randy's up there. So that's Randy's team. Weaver, Randy Weaver is Shade Weaver. There we go. With that second place. Love it. Nick, I would love to show. I was not in the WNBA streets last night, though I did learn that TJ McConnell's sister plays in the WNBA now and got hurt last night. I mean, I think I got to order a jersey, guys. I think I got to complete the McConnell set here. But second in the WNBA streets for our resident Knicks expert there. Nick, congratulations, my friend. Unbelievable stuff. And let's see here. Take a look at Randy's lineup while we're here. Bobby Witt, we talked about really liking him. Carlos Rodon was our SP1. Love to see it. Riley Green as the bounce back spot when everybody else was going to play all those other Detroit pieces, but then fade Riley Green just because he had a bad day the day before. So that was pretty sharp there. Using Corbin Carroll as a one-off and then stacking the 2 infielders from the Phillies. Love to see it. Beautiful lineup as well. Yeah, and guys, Royce Lewis scored 15 fantasy points. We got to bring that to everybody's attention. Royce Lewis with 15 fantasy points. You love to see it. The unthinkable has happened. All right. That is the synopsis of yesterday. Shout out to the community. We push forward to today. We will start where we always start with the weather. I will give it a quick refresh. As of this morning, Tampa Bay, that is going to be kind of like an evergreen spot for us, is talking about how Tampa Bay is going to handle it. We talked about yesterday how it was the first time in which they were ever going to handle an outdoor game with some potential rain. And they ended up having a very short stint in the middle there where they didn't even roll the tarp out. They just kind of like paused the game for a second and then they came back out. So these random pop-ups are going to be hard to deal with. But man, do I like left-handed Rays again. I mean, we got Kumar Rocker on the mound there for Texas. He's been abysmal, but even more noteworthy, he has been abysmal with left-handed power. He was actually, I guess it's interesting to note, when he went back down to AAA, he was halfway decent for a couple weeks there, and now he's coming back up here. But yeah, methinks we're going to want to get to the Rays today in a decent way. Texas has been floundering, and right-handed matchup against Boss is not the greatest spot in the world there for a team that has been inept at hitting home runs this year. But yeah, if the weather, I'm playing this as if it plays, but I'm kind of soft fading the arms in the game because I'm scared of a delay in the middle, right? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to just see how this goes. St. Louis looks like the scarier of the 2 spots. Yeah, a bit dicey, especially since a doubleheader tomorrow would likely go off without a hitch, was kind of like the thing that stood out to me when I was reading through Roth's stuff here. Yeah, so that does look like a spot where they could play 2 tomorrow on the getaway day and just fade today. And Bobby Witt has that really high ADP Detroit and Chicago don't really love the spot, so don't really care, but it seems like it's going to be fine. Giants and Padres going to treat it the exact same way I treated the first two games of that series, and that is basically pitching only for me. And then this Sutter Health, you guys will see it here, and you guys will see it with the implied run totals and stuff. Mid 80s, wind blowing out, minor league ballpark, plays better at night than the day. It ticks all the boxes for us. And Minnesota gave us a sneak preview of probably what an iteration of their lineup will look like going into tonight, last night, because they faced a lefty as well. Jeffrey Springs, not as gas canny as Lopez is, but still a guy that we're probably going to want to attack with the right-handed power there. Obviously, Buxton's going to be popping for us. Hopefully, Royce Lewis's performance yesterday moves him up in the lineup a little bit more today. Willie Castro with the 2 home runs. Hard to believe that he would be out of the lineup after that. Maybe Matt Wallner comes in and gets a lefty-lefty start because Trevor Larnach got it yesterday, but Trevor Larnach homered off the lefty yesterday. So maybe they just roll with that again. We'll talk about that when we kind of go game by game with the lineups. I'm going to bring us over to the beautiful unabated interface here, and I'm going to take a look-sees at the overarching of the slate, and I'm going to take a little look-sees at the pick'em lobby as well there using Cardi's projections to see if we got any little edges popping on the site here. As you guys can see, kind of running it back from yesterday, very similar macro game environments where the run totals are hovering between 7.5 with Chris Sale on the mound here, and that back end 7 in that god awful park to hit in Oracle, aka AT&T. We're never going to call it Oracle, right? Yeah, for the Giants and Padres one there. So it looks like, again, where it's like we don't really love the bats in that spot. We don't really love the bats going up against Sale, although it did work yesterday to get to the Diamondbacks, and I do like the Diamondbacks more when they face a lefty than a righty. So maybe a little bit of double bubble leverage available there, especially with Ketel Marte. But those look like the 2 worst macro spots for bats as of right now. And the best being reflected, as what I said earlier there with the weather, is this Twins and Athletics spot showing a total of 10 there. We will go game by game for the implied run totals from some other resources in half a second. Just nice to see this 8.5 kind of confirming some of our priors with the Rays ones there. Yeah, there was one last little nugget I forgot to check before going live to see if it was okay. Cool. Yeah, Mick Abel is getting the call up there, and Taijuan Walker has moved to the bullpen. Decent arm in the minor leagues, probably their second best minor league pitching prospect behind Andrew Painter. So yeah, it'd be fun to see this evening. I just had to confirm that he was in fact in our player pool. Yeah, we're good. So the one start against the Pirates, and then coming back up now. 9 Ks. Wow, in 6 innings there, quality start and a win first time up. So might be a little sneaky there if we want to get to him, but we'll talk about that in a half second. I just wanted to confirm when we're walking through the games that he was in fact in the player pool. Okay, back to unabated here. Before we do the run totals and stuff, let's just take a little peek at the DFS pick'em tool here. We will use the BATX Cardi's projections here. I already have them preloaded, and we will see if we got any edges popping. Just when you guys do this on your own accord, be mindful of really swingy stuff, like 0.5s on, this is the nice edge here. Vladimir Guerrero with a 0.9 opposed to a 0.5, but something like this, like Kerry Carpenter with a 12% edge, but it's like a 0.5 and a 0.5. It's actually a lot closer. I'd think about it more in terms of steals in basketball. Those will always show huge edges, but the projection is also really close. So yeah, just throwing that out there for you guys here. Brandon Lowe, I like some of these pitching out ones. Michael Burrows isn't on our slate, but hits allowed lowers feel okay. This Daniel Matthews one, I guess Daniel is Zebby's real name. I didn't even realize that. Zebby Matthews is Daniel Matthews. I was just about to say it's like Daniel Matthews, pardon. Um yeah, lower pitcher strikeouts. I mean, there's definitely strikeouts available at the bottom of that Oakland lineup, but they're not loving that one for Zebby Matthews. Um, wow, a little bit of a higher on the Abel stuff there. Marcus Betts, that's funny to see. All right, let's cook a little something up here with this and just trust our guy Cardi. Go in the lobbies here, click on that MLB. Before we do, let's see Zebby Matthews here. Zebby Matthews on the strikeouts lower was the number one edge it was showing. Vlad Guerrero to score a run, and that would positively correlate with doing a lower on Abel. So let's see what Mick Abel has for us. Mick Abel, if we then do like hits allowed or something like that, positively correlated. Hopefully we don't get docked. Earned runs as 2.5 higher. Yeah, we can't do that correlation. Okay, I was afraid of that. Okay, let's start here with the Zebby Matthews and Vlad one. This is good. Paid says it feels a lot better clicking a lower on Daniel opposed to Zebby. Like Daniel Matthews tonight is striking out 3. Zebby Matthews might strike out 11. I mean, like, who knows, right? That's so good. There you go. Yeah, Marcus Betts. That's pretty funny. It's pretty funny when they use like their full, like, legal given names when we're accustomed. Like Mick is Micklin. McLean, like it looks like McLean. Yeah, that's good. Gleyber Torres lower on the walks. O'Neal Cruz lower on the walks. Marcus Betts strikeouts. Like these 0.5 ones, guys, like these absolute binary outcome 0.5 ones, they feel a lot like steals. Like they're highly volatile. All right, just because Nez isn't here, just to confirm, guys, Jacob Wilson lower total bases is showing a 5% edge. I did not make this one up. This is not a spite pick. Let me just say that this is a stamp of approval pick when I go with my priors here and go on a lower on the total bases. Let's start the day off with a nice little 6-5. You know what? No, I'm feeling frisky today. 100 hard-earned of my own US dollars. We have no promos, but make sure you guys click the prize box before doing so. Let's put that one in the chat. That one has a stamp of approval. Yes, just to confirm. Sest is saying, just to confirm, guys, this was not a spite pick. This was not a spite pick. This was a sanctioned, unabated, showing a definitive lower pick. Okay, cool. We will come back to the pick'em lobbies and do some home run calls in a minute here. Let's start looking at some implied run totals and what things could happen this evening. All right, we're going to start with the ballpark, pal. As we said, that Sutter Health Park is playing up big time for home runs on both sides there. Hence the lower on Daniel Matthews, aka Zebby Matthews, there in the first pick'em entry. We're also seeing, Dodgers and Mets. This looks like the worst pitching matchup of the series thus far there between the Dodgers and the Mets. Let me hold on 1 second. I keep doing this to myself where I think I got all my ducks in a row, and then I realized that like I'm on like yesterday's projection or something stupid like that. Okay, should be good. There should be good. All right. Griffin Canning and Tony Gonsolin. So, not terrible. I mean, not gas canny variety arms, but I came on the show yesterday and I said we're gonna play all these other game environments, and that Dodgers game environment just feels like it's gonna be a 5-4 game. Interesting walk-off in that one last night. If you guys saw, just a terrible read in left field by Brandon Nimmo on a opposite field double that probably should have been a caught fly ball off the bat of Freddie Freeman in extra innings there. Got home in time to see that one. But yeah, this one looks a little bit better for hitting conditions than the previous ones in the series there. Same could be said for Yankees and Cleveland in there, because they were not showing much of a smash spot the last couple days, given the pitchers on the mound and given the conditions. But now we're going to get about 80 degrees, and we're going to get Luis Ortiz and Clark Schmidt on the hill, which are much more gettable. So left-handed bats in terms of home runs in that ballpark going to be showing a nice little edge today. If we want to scroll the F down here on the ballpark, pal, more of the same from the Sutter Health. Wyatt Langford showing a righty-righty matchup of 10 and boost. Not sure I agree with that one, but it's popping in a decent way for a guy who's going damn near completely undrafted. So speaks to those hitting conditions there. I did a couple Rays stacks this morning, just trying to get to that spot. But, a Wyatt Langford plus Seager feels okay. Yeah. All right. Interesting just note in the simulations from Ballpark Pal here that Zebby Matthews is actually going to be Daniel Matthews today, because he's expected to allow the most home runs on the slate. And the Athletics bullpen is expected to allow the most home runs on the slate, according to their S words. So interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Okay, let's use it as a jump off point for some of our run totals. I showed you the macro totals from unabated, but we could take a look at some of these game by game implied ones. It's going to be another day where I don't play hitting from Baltimore and Seattle, and I don't play hitting from Giants and Padres. If you want to be the guy who goes contrarian and gets there for bats or finds a one-off from those game environments, by all means, it's not going to be me. I'm going to be playing Twins. I'm going to be playing Athletics. I'm going to be playing a little bit of Mets. I'm going to be playing a little bit of Dodgers. I'm going to be playing a shit ton of Rays and a shit ton of Rangers, because nobody else appears to be right now. Phillies feel like good chalk all over again. Right-handed. Arizona is double bubble leverage, but, not my favorite spot in the world there. But right-handed leverage. I put Ronald Acuna Jr. on the thumb today, guys, just because a guy of his talent level should not have an ADP of 23.7. I don't care if it's raining sideways and he is facing, Nolan Ryan. Ronald Acuna Jr. should never have an ADP of 23. So if you want to be mixing in, some one-offs of Acuna, or you want to be the guy getting overweight, scroll the F down, Braves stacks because of it, absolutely. I'm all for it. All for it today. But it does feel similar today with these 10 games, these 12 game slates, and given the run totals, it doesn't feel like the onslaughts, the 4-1s, and the 5-0s are the way to go today. It feels more of like what won yesterday, the 2-2-1s. And that's just, some macro bro science, but I don't view pitching as crazy strong today. I think there's two very good spots to get to for pitching. And then if people are going to build 4s and 5-mans, they're probably going to utilize those pitchers alongside them. And, for you to break a slate with a 4s or a 5-man stack, you basically need one team winning like 11-0. You need the Detroit outlier from a couple days ago, but that Detroit outlier takes place on a 5-game slate or takes place on a 6-game slate. you're going to have way more home runs, and the value of home runs, like way more home runs on a slate that's 10 games or 12 games, and the value of home runs just boosting scores so much. You're going to need way more of the contrarian one-off two-homer guy. You're going to need way more of pairing the two-homer guy from one game environment with the two-homer guy from another game environment, because we're working with shorter rosters. Redacted play, by all means, you can still play a 5-man and a 3-man, or you can play a 5-2-1 or whatever on redacted. In our game with shorter rosters, I mean, you would need a team to score 15 runs with 5 home runs, right? And the teams in which could do that today, probably the A's, probably the Twins, probably the Dodgers on any given day, probably the Phillies. But Barrios hasn't given up more than 5 earned runs in a start this season. So I'm not betting on, the Phillies coming in here and just scoring 15 today. So I think we're going to be building a lot more of the 2-2-1s, the 3-2s, the 3-1-1s on the slate, opposed to the 4-1s and the onslaughty stuff. Because I know you guys saw the leaderboard yesterday for a moment in time where a bunch of 4-1s were littered across the top of it, and then the rest of the games play, right? So yeah, just on these longer shorts, longer slates as a macro thesis. We can juxtapose some of those run totals that we just saw in the Ballpark Pal. There, we can cross-reference them. The unabated we did first, then Ballpark Pal. We can cross-reference them with some of Cardi's favorite stacks there. Permission to share Cardi's stacks with the community here. Friend of the show. What happened here? Oh, I got logged out. Classic. Give me 1 second. There we go. Favorite stacks for Cardi on the main slate. And take this with a grain of salt, guys, because these stacks are intended for redacted purposes. So I don't know what the secret sauce of his algorithm is, but it is noteworthy that the scoring system is a little different. I mean, it's not crazy different, but using the F dual, if you catch my drift, the F redacted, it's kind of the closest to our scoring system. So using that one and the main slate, he really likes the hitting environment for Dodgers and Mets, which was, kind of similar for Dodgers, I guess 2 slates ago, something there. But yeah, Dodgers and Mets popping for him. I guess it's just the best weather and best matchup we have seen yet there. Also talking about Twins, Yankees here, Phillies. It's interesting that this says Sean Newcomb as opposing pitcher for the Twins. I don't think that's right. I believe today is going to be Jeffrey Springs. Oh, no. Okay. Originally, I thought it was going to be Jeffrey Springs. A couple of resources had it as Jeffrey Springs. It is going to be Sean Newcomb. So former failed prospect for the Braves, who once upon a time showed a strikeout ceiling, but is no longer. So yeah, Sean Newcomb. So the handedness is still there when I was talking about the righties, but yeah, interesting stuff. So Sean Newcomb, that makes me like the Twins stuff even more. We can go into why after. Phillies and Braves up here, Athletics, all of this making sense, right? And all running with our previous priors, basically. So yeah, those are the chalk stacks. Those are going to be kind of some of our favorite stacks. And those are the ones that are getting built out in our rooms. Relative to price tags on Underdog right now, I guess we could say some of the Mets are underpriced down here, with like Alonso and Nimmo and stuff being in the 27 and 30 range. It's just kind of Soto and Lindor who are priced up there. Dodgers, you can kind of get full stacks yet again because the ADPs are lining up perfectly. But reminder that Max Muncy has been scorching hot since he got glasses. Maybe he should have considered getting glasses years ago, but he has 5 home runs in his last 4 games there. So some incredible stuff from him. Will Smith was out of the lineup earlier in the week, but now was back yesterday. I assume he will be in again there. just talking through the evergreen rotation of their outfield and their catchers. Our guy Tyler is looking for 4 more for the frozen rope. Get in here, and 2 more for the big fly. So get in there with him before all the alpha is dropped. Relative to scroll the F down, obviously Twins are a little bit priced up, but it's mainly just Buxton. So you can still stack Twins all the way down here. You can get some fun scroll the F downs that'll be higher up in the lineup, such as Ty France. He seems good today. Obviously, pinch hit risk with Harrison Bader, but I expect him to be in there again. And then one of Trevor Larnach or Matt Wallner to be in there. I'm anticipating Christian Vasquez being in the lineup today and Ryan Jeffers getting the off day. But if Ryan Jeffers is in there, he tends to hit 2 or 3 and is a lefty killer. So definitely playable on our site, even though catchers are not the greatest plays in the world. What else did I want to say in terms of stacks? Who else did we like there that might be underpriced? Oh, Braves being kind of like the most underpriced of the bunch right now, citing just, Acuna's ADP buried down here. Like, obviously, Merrill Kelly, professional ass right-handed pitcher, but he's a guy that you can get home against. I'm not full stacking Atlanta. But yeah, Drake Baldwin homered last night, may or may not be back in the lineup today. We saw one game with him hitting in the 2-hole in this series. But then we didn't see him in the other game. So maybe Drake Baldwin is in there today and Sean Murphy is in there as well. But the handedness advantage of Drake Baldwin in the 2-hole as a scroll the F down with some power, you could do worse kind of thing. Braves feel decent there. And then obviously Dodgers, Yankees, and Phillies are chalk for a reason. And then I will be scrolling down to Rays. I know the weather is a little bit scary for sure, but Kumar Rocker has a big time left-handed power problem, and it reared its head in his minor league starts as well. Some of the batted ball data, let me just take a look here. This is what I was looking at earlier. Fangraphs has Jeffrey Springs in, and Jeffrey Springs has the highest fly ball percentage on the slate, and he has a hard contact percentage north of 32, which isn't like earth shattering, but like it was just definitely noteworthy there. But Kumar Rocker giving up 37% hard hit right now, which is second highest on the slate behind only Mick Abel. So yeah, there's a little something there. And then the Kumar Rocker home run to fly ball being 13.6%. So definitely something that's, not out of this world, but something worth attacking. Zebby Matthews with that 15.4% on the home run to fly ball as well. Something worth attacking. So yeah. And, maybe I was a little too dismissive at the start of being like all or nothing on Xing out Mariners and Baltimore. But I don't know, like for whatever reason, the Mariners lineup has been worse against left-handed pitching this year, despite having good right-handed power in it. I mean, if you want to get creative with like a Dylan Moore versus a lefty, if you want to get creative with like Mitch Garver versus a lefty, it's not the craziest shit in the world as scroll the F downs, but you don't really need to scroll that far. Maybe it's better in the pick'em lobbies. If you want to attack Emerson Hancock with left-handed bats, by all means. Like if you want to do like Cowser, O'Hearn, Henderson, they're pretty buried in terms of ADP here. So I could see you getting there. I prefer the Rays spot. I prefer the Rangers spot. But Emerson Hancock has been a bit of a gas can this year and definitely worth attacking even at home. Actually, one thing I wanted to bring up for you guys, I touched on it yesterday. Give me 1 second. Sorry, bad radio for you guys. But I wanted to take a look at, okay. Let's do this in real time. I don't know if this is going to confirm my priors or not. Last 3 years, rolling average for park factors, home runs. Okay. Last 3 years, T-Mobile, aka Safeco, has been the worst park in baseball in terms of park factor on Savant, right? In terms of home runs, it has been 19th. Okay. And now that is all encompassing 3 years, both sides of the plate. They brought the wall in left field where the bullpen is, right below Edgar's Cantina or whatever. They brought that wall in, I think it was exactly 3 years ago. So things haven't changed much. I guess the home runs being like 19 has changed a little bit. Now let's just look at this year and then sort it by handedness and see if things have changed, because I think it's playing a bit better for left-handed power. Okay, park factor is still 23 in the league. It's 96 instead of those previous 91s. But here we go. Okay, so maybe this is a byproduct. Maybe this is noise in the sample. Maybe this is Cal Raleigh is such an outlier by leading the league in home runs in this ballpark that it has kind of broken the sample. Okay. But if we sort by home runs, T-Mobile is 6th. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think about that. Do you think that's noise in the sample based on the results right now? Or do you think this is actually a better place to hit? Let's switch, because if I want to confirm my priors, I will venture to guess it's a top 10 ballpark for left-handed power, and it's like a bottom 10 for right-handed power. So let's confirm our priors here. Let's see. We update for left-handed power. We filter by only home runs, and it is 6th. It is 6th at a 118, which is slightly worse than the previous number we just saw. We flip to the right-hand side. We filter by home runs. It's still 8th with a 212 or a 121. It's still 8th. Man, I think maybe we could do a little more Baltimore stuff tonight. I don't know. Let's check the weather. I'm looking outside right now. It looks like it's 16 degrees Celsius, which is probably closer to, what do we think? 65, 68, something like that. Yeah, maybe Cal Raleigh's just that guy. He might be, Sawdog. He might just be good enough that he's fucked the entire sample for baseball right now. Interesting. Anyways, I don't know if it's going to be warm enough to have the roof open tonight, but I think it might be. And if the roof's open, we know that park plays better too. Left-handed Baltimore is now back in my player pool. Left-handed Baltimore is now back in my player pool. For those of you that are sick enough to be grinding these games alongside me, we just got the notification on the Apple Watch that the Gladiator deposit has reached your account. So if you guys got to go check that out, you might have a little extra bonus funds in there to start putting in these drafts with me. All right, let's start talking about pitching. Let's talk about pitching here. Let's not get fooled by the Kirbys and the Striders of today's slate. I like Sale. Sale probably should be SP1 on this slate. He should project as SP1. I'm a little scared of Arizona and their ability to hit the long ball. There we go. Tyler, Bronze Gladiators, stand up. Let's go. Let's go. I'm a little bit scared of the right-handed power in that lineup and Ketel Marte being so good from the right side. Sale has been truly elite at limiting power versus the left-hand side, but you can still play Corbin Carroll because he's Corbin Carroll. But I will be soft fading yet again, same as yesterday. Obviously, that one bit me in the ass, but I think today's spot is even worse for him. I think Sale is SP1. I think Pivetta is SP2 with a bullet. Like, I think these two are like closer. I think they're closer than their ADPs give credit right now. And if I'm going to do some contrarian stacking, I'm going to start building out, some like 3-mans with Pivetta instead of with Sale that other people will build out with Sale just to get a little bit of leverage. Jose Barrios, I will try not to play today. It is a very tough pitching slate because there's not a ton of stuff that I want to get to, but I will try not to play Jose Barrios today. I know professional ass right-handed pitcher, whatever. He's been a little gas canny. He hasn't been completely blown up, but like he just hasn't been that dude. This outlier start versus the Athletics, an outlier start versus a watered down Angels team that was missing Trout and a whole bunch of other bats at that time. I don't like it today. I think there's just too much left-handed power in a park that plays well for left-handed power against him. So I'm soft fading the Jose Barrios. Shane Baz is fine, but I'm not playing him. I want to play bats in that game. So I'm instantly fading these two middle guys here. Clark Schmidt seems okay. Zebby Matthews seems overpriced. Noah Cameron has had a good start or two, but I'm scared of the weather. I like that we've seen length out of him. The strikeout rate leaves something to be desired, but that we've seen length out of him. But everybody's going to be scared to play him because of the weather, and rightfully so. So it's really making me want to prioritize these top two arms, and then I will start scrolling the F down. I will play a little bit of Cade Povich versus the Mariners today. It's not a comfortable click. For the record, Cardi likes it quite a bit. So there's that. I will play Mick Abel instead of playing Jose Barrios. Despite the pick'em that we previously made, I like the potential strikeout rate and using that strikeout rate as a floor to play him. Plus, you get the leverage of him not being 100% drafted, right? So if we're going to try and chase outlier strikeout rates, it's probably going to be Mick Abel and Zebby Matthews. Neither of them are comfortable clicks, but they definitely should be in our player pool today, I think. That's where I'm at on it, but I'm really prioritizing Sale and Pivetta, okay? That's where I'm at with it. Then if we want to get like scrolly with it or whatever, like I think Merrill Kelly, professional ass, right-handed pitcher, you can just throw him in there and hope he gives you like 8 fantasy points and no other starter breaks the slate. So we're going stars and scrubs today. It's Pivetta and Sale, or it's full fucking scroll the F down for me. I like, plug your nose, I like Kyle Harrison today. I'm a Kyle Harrison guy today. I think this feels good, man. I like it. Troy asking if Noah's any good. The results have been good. The underline that I'm looking at is not as amazing. Like he's just like super mid. The strikeout rate, 16.3%. The walk rate's like, that classic, like in the 10s area. No, it's a little bit better than that. It's in the 8s area. XFIP is, let's see. XFIP is 4.5. So, and his actual is like 105. So his ERA is 105, but then his XFIP is 405. That screams, negative regression candidate. Plus, his start could be rain shortened with the weather that we're dealing with in St. Louis. A little bit warmer conditions in St. Louis than we've been accustomed to start this year too, which makes, hitting conditions a little bit more favorable. I'm not playing them today. I would rather scroll to some of these guys. I'm not touching Kumar Rocker. I'm stacking against him. Luis Ortiz, I'm stacking against. Miles Michaelis, I will not touch for the same reasons before. Dude, if you want to play pitching as being like the contrarian guy, it's like, what do you win when you win? If you play Canning or Gonsling, you don't win enough in our format, like to go reverse double bubble on our site. They're more of redacted plays if you want to build out some contrarian stacks and then play pitching from the game environment that everybody loves. I would rather just play Kyle Harrison. Like, I kind of like Kyle Harrison. He was a bit of a sleeper coming into the dinger drafts of last year there. I mean, I think there's things to like about him. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a thing to like about him. Kyle Harrison, K per 9, 1005. K percentage of 28.6. Great ballpark. Padres don't strike out a ton, but they strike out. No, they don't strike out more against lefties. But at least, Merrill's pretty good lefty, but it kind of neutralizes one of their power bats in the middle of that lineup. Manny Machado is really good against lefties, which kind of hurts it. Yeah. I guess it's more just like a bet on the ballpark and bet on like what's happened recently in the trends of that series. Which is, I guess, something that our thought process should be independent of. But yeah. Yeah, not playing. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on it. That's about it. So it's stars and scrubs for me today, and I'm fine with Povich, Abel, Kelly, Harrison, and maybe Zebby Matthews to a lesser extent. But I'm a little more concerned about the Zebby Matthews, especially with the price tag. And then I'll probably be soft fading Shane Baz, Jose Barrios, Clark Schmidt a little less so. I kind of like Clark Schmidt. But I'll probably be like a little soft on him. So stars and scrubs, baby. And definitely an emphasis on prioritizing Nick Pivetta today. That's where I'm at. Cardi sees it a little bit similar. Sale, Pivetta, Schmidt, Shane Baz, Cade Povich, Zebby Matthews, Merrill Kelly, Luis Ortiz. He's down on Barrios as well. So, yeah. Sawdog said, I can't imagine what the Marlins fans are feeling right now. I got to check in on that daytime diamond. As I said, I did not get any entries in because you guys are sick, but it looks like they have lost. Is it final now? They have lost 3-2 to the Rockies. The Rockies have beat them 2 days in a row now. You love to see it. You love to see it. Milwaukee's up 6-1. Angels are up 7-5. No more home runs to account for in our pick'ems just yet. All right, there you go. That was the synopsis. That was the breakdown. Isolated hitters that are kind of like projection darlings for Cardi. Obviously Buxton, Vlad, but he's always high on Vlad. Pete Alonso and Ronald Acuna and Fernando Tatis popping way higher than their ADPs currently would suggest. Same with Gunnar Henderson, but that's evergreen as well. Ketel Marte popping more than his ADP would indicate. But for the most part, there's a lot of good places for hitting today. There's a lot of mix and match bats that we like, and there's not as many pitching options that we love. So prioritizing those top two and then scrolling the F down to some of those other ones for some leverage feels like the best way to attack it right now. Let's jump in here. I have done a couple of them this morning just to get a lay of the land. Yeah, I'll keep poking around through some batted ball stats here to help you guys out. One that I was really going to attack was that Jeffrey Springs. He is just, the ball is always in the air, and the home run to fly ball looked like it was going to be a negative regressor for us. Tony Gonsolin, same way right now. Tony Gonsolin, smaller sample size, obviously, because he hasn't pitched the entirety of the year, but a 46.4% fly ball with a 20.5 home run to fly ball. That looks pretty solid. Only a 500 pitch sample compared to some of these other guys this year. Hard contact rate of 36%. So attacking Gonsolin feels pretty good. Shout out to our guy Car Park in there. Wow, they got swept. Rockies swept them. Rockies went from 9 wins to 12 wins in the blink of the eye while everybody was making fun of them on the internet. Wow. Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, we do a little bit of PGA mixed in here every now and then. We do definitely have the season-long variety, but less so of the daily stuff, Mitch. Some stuff there. If you guys are watching on the X side, jump on over to the YouTube side. Give us a subscribe, a like, a notification, all that fun stuff. Join up to become a member. Tons of benefits, 2 additional streams a week. Both Nez and I will be together tomorrow, and then Nez will be running solo on Friday. May or may not have a no strip Nez stream to go alongside it. Yeah, lots of other options right now, guys. Lots of other options right now with both Pete streaming and Coach Speak Index streaming and Davis and stuff. So very appreciative of the 100 and almost 75 of you guys who have 175 that have chosen to spend your time here with me for a little bit of baseball. Obviously, yeah. What else can we do here? Soto goes there. I think we do what I said we were going to do, and we prioritize some pitching early. Maybe we can scroll the F down for pitching in the second one so we can get 2 different structural builds. I think Chris Sale, like just in terms of strikeout rate, how consistent he's been. He had a tough matchup last time out, and he still powered through. Who was it last time out? Phillies. Yeah, it was Phillies in that doubleheader where he pitched the second game of the doubleheader there. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do some athletics stuff. Maybe we do Butler and Rooker as a little stack, although those two will be paired together a lot. So maybe we got to think of a more contrarian path than that. But maybe we could use Butler as a one-off, or we could do like a skinny stack with an infielder. And then we could go ahead and, add another 3 stack to it. I do believe, today feels like a good 2-2-1 slate, a good 3-2 slate, a good 3-1-1 slate. Yeah. M-Wall dropping some alpha in the chat about the draft caddy and MLB projections. That's pretty cool. The nice thing about the MLB projections is it's like they're so starkly different than what is publicly available elsewhere. Like MLBs, we talk about how projections in basketball are like, we're talking like fractions of fantasy points. We're talking like fractions of points different from one another, and the stands aren't as like great, like as polarizing. Whereas baseball projections, there's depending what the inputs are, the outputs can be very stark. So very different. We got Jim in here. We got Jordan. We got Cognition and OG Cognition. Dog Bowl 1 qualifier. We got our guy Car Park, who's been winning everything, setting up that Dodgers stack. And then we got our friend Justin Long hanging out there. Took down a baseball slate this week already, doing the Fernando Tatis plus Nick Pivetta start there. I have not seen another Twin and or Athletic get drafted yet. So I'm going to go ahead and go that route. You guys can see Bobby Witt, his ADP of 6.9, but falling all the way to like this 17 range because people are scared of the weather in that ball game. Definitely a spot that we could consider drafting him now. We could go with the handedness advantage and do like a Soderstrom or something here alongside Butler. But I do think I want to do some Atlanta stuff. So let's take Acuna and then let's pair him with another Atlanta stick and then maybe do a contrarian one-off or a contrarian two-man here. I do think the Atlanta spot is like a little underrepresented relative to ADP right now. The Philly stack is free right now, as you can see. Being able to pair Bryce and Kyle Schwarber, so coveted yesterday, but then so underpriced today. I mean, Jose Barrios isn't good enough to warrant the spot being this much better. That much better yesterday versus today. They should still be a little bit higher in ADPs, in my estimation. So that's a nice play by Justin there. Jazz Chisholm returned yesterday and homered. So Jazz Chisholm goes with the 14th pick there to Jordan. A full Met stack for Cognition. We'll see what he does next. Everybody kind of staying in their lanes right now. Cordell asking if we got any more action left in NHL. Yeah, we got a really good team in the Big Zamboni final. The final is only 12 participants. I think Iron Penguin has the upper hand in that final. I think he has most of the people kind of boxed out in that one. But I think we need Brad Marchand to do something as kind of like our contrarian piece. And then we need McDavid to kind of outperform Draisaitl. I think Sam Bennett is a big piece for me as well. One more for the frozen rope, but by the sounds of it, it has filled. So keep filling the frozen rope there. One team in the Zamboni finals for our guy Cordell. Love it, dude. Congrats. Also need McDavid and Marchand. So you and I are in lockstep here. You love to see it. What do we think? We could talk a little cup finals. I'm really excited for this series. Like, I'm just really excited to put the phone away, crack a cold one, sit on the couch, and just kick my feet up and enjoy the game tonight. I'm really excited to just watch that. Car Park saying he's got a full Panthers and Oilers stack in the Boney still going. Fuck yeah. A 2-team, 12-person stack. Awesome. That is elite. That is nice. We see Carlos Correa go there. What's up with Carlos Correa, guys? The power is kind of just like gone. Like, he just doesn't lift the ball enough anymore. I think we can go back to the well here, guys. I think we can use Lawrence Butler as a one-off. We can build out a 2-2-1, as I alluded to. We can either go Butler and then add Rooker to this and then add a contrarian one-off, or we can go with a contrarian two-man and then use Butler as the one-off. I think we got to play Twins, man. This Twins spot is just jumping off the page to me. I think we got to go with Royce again. He pulled through last night for us. I fucking told you guys Royce was going to have his best game of the season. He had arguably his best game of the season, 15 fantasy points. We got to get in there and do it again. Eggers is so bitter about the Oilers. He just can't do it. I want to see the Cup go back to Canada. 1992, I think, was the last time. I'm about it. All right. I think Jeffers has a chance to not be in the lineup today, and they go the backup catcher route. I think Ty France is sneaky, but the fact that Willie Castro, after being on an absolute tear, look at this. Willie Castro, 38, 21, 13, 31 for the box score watchers. He will not get pinch hit for because he's a switch hitter. Him and Brooks Lee could both be in the lineup today. I think we go with Willie Castro there as a scroll the F down, contrarian Twins 2-man. So we go Chris Sale, prioritizing early pitching. Then we go Olsen and Acuna, one off Butler, and then 2 Twins, Royce Lewis and Willie Castro. Feels good. Feels good. Let's jump in one more of those and see if we can flip the board a little bit here and do one that is a back stack one. One more spot in the 7th inning stretch. Guys, one more spot. Mo needs one more 7th inning stretch. Cody saying fun team? I hope so. I hope so. Only 3 dead players with the Boldy and Kaprizov stuff. And Joe Eriksson. Not bad. Evan asking if we prefer 2-2-1 or 3-1-1 in bigger slates. I think the data will show 3-1-1. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure the data suggests 3-1-1. I think last season when we overhauled, just like grunt work of scraping the data, 2-2-1s, 3-1-1s both played better on the macro than 3-2s did. And the 4-1s and the 5-0s played better on shorter slates than full slates, and played better on after dark slates than on full slates. So there's your alpha. But if you want to, the difference between a 3-1-1 and a 2-2-1 is like flip a coin, though, on a night-to-night basis. Those ones are very close. Mo, did we fill that one up? Did we fill that 7th inning stretch? I hope so. GM, Brett, what's good? Yeah, unfortunately, my big Zamboni team, I think, has Hyman on it, which is obviously a big, big blow. All right, one more 7th inning stretch. Mo, you can also ping it in the Discord. If you guys are not in the Discord, jump into the Badge Bros Discord within the Deposit Kingdom Discord. It is free. There's a main channel, and then there's a whole bunch of other side threads that are sport specific. And you guys can just go ahead and tag at Best Ballers, and you can just tag the best ball players, and people will fill it up. There you go. Tyler's got you. Tyler's coming in. So there we go. We fill that bad boy up. All right, let's do the Byron Buxton thing. I obviously really like him, really like Twins, really like the spot. We could do a 2-man from Minnesota, and we could do a scroll the F down at pitcher, which means we got to find another spot that we like to draft now. We could do the Mets. We could do like Lindor and then do Pete Alonso and do like a contrarian Mets and then find a one-off outfield play. We could do Rays, although I think someone did Josh Lowe, so I don't want to be a total asshole. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take Lindor here. I think Fernando Tatis Jr. will project better in a vacuum. It is probably a slightly better play today. But yeah. Tyler needs 2 more for the big fly. We still need 1 more for the 7th inning stretch. Someone left. If you guys want to check out the stream from earlier in the week there, it's sitting somewhere down here on the previous stuff early in the week. We did a full 7th inning stretch breakdown. Nez talked about some of his favorite ADP targets. We talked about the value of some of the rookies and some of the pitchers and some of the injury timelines for people coming back. Yuri Perez is coming back a little bit sooner than I thought, though. So Yuri Perez is scheduled to start tomorrow, I believe it is. So we'll see how long he goes, and we'll see if they, treat him with kid gloves or not. But Yuri Perez piqued my interest learning that today. So, man, these drafts are crawling along. What's up, guys? We're all watching the stream. We all got red badges. We're all hanging out. What's going on? Let's push the pace on this thing. Marks, I know you're setting up a Tampa Bay stack. You told us off the hop. You don't have to milk the whole clock, bro. Oh, there you go. Easy game. I could have made the pick for you. Click the buttons. Yes, I'm sorry, Eggers. I'm sorry. We're going to rip a BBM after this. We did Superflex with Pete there on Tuesday. A lot of fun. I really liked talking through the dynamic of like how quarterback pricing shifts the landscape. But yeah. Tolan asking, you think Max Scherzer's thumb will ever heal this year? I think his thumb will heal at the rate in which the Blue Jays need pitching, right? Like if they need pitching, his thumb will heal. But yeah, I expect Scherzer. The timelines that I have seen, there was a update. Was it 2 days ago? Let me see if I can find it for you. Give me half a second here. I saw an update somewhere. Yeah, it wasn't great, the update. Okay, Keegan Matheson on Twitter said he was facing pitchers and he's on track to pitch in a complex league game or a sim game on Sunday, and then they will set the rehab. That's the good news. The bad news is it stems from a lat problem. And the lat problem is what is making the thumb bad, I guess. And I don't know how the lat is connected to the thumb, but yeah, just throwing that out there. There's our guy, Pat Moore Poker, rolling through. If you guys missed him on the Best Ball Bash, go check it out. Very fun stuff. Very funny story about the dynamics of adding support. Vogie Barras stole our scroll the F down there. I was going to use Gunnar Henderson as a one-off. Now we're going to have to get a little more creative than that. Let's use Kyle Schwarber as a one-off Philly here and build a 2-1-1. Nah. All right. Yeah, let's do it. Let's use Schwarber as a home run pick to click today. Discounted price tag relative to yesterday. We'll use Kyle Schwarber as a one-off, and we'll build a 2-2-1, and we will use a contrarian stack partner for Byron Buxton. And then we will scroll. Noah's coming in to call Muncie Double Dong Day. It's happened twice in the last 4 days. Could it possibly happen again? Holy. Damn, Solar got pulled from the Angels game. Now we're praying for the rescue now. We're praying for the rescue. At Numi. Yeah, Noah, you missed it. I've been down this rabbit hole, bro. I told everybody about the glasses. Don't worry. I got you covered. Man, this draft is crawling. What is going on, guys? I want to build out home run pick'ems and have some fun. Holy smokes. Let me see if I can see anything popping in the home run S words on unabated right now. I will take a look behind the scenes while we got some time. Add in custom projections. Use the bad X. Shout out to our guy Car Park. Took down the WNBA slate the other day, gifting out 5 Badge Bros memberships. He loved to see it. Appreciate you, bro. Actually was out on the golf course yesterday, and you know what was in the, I got one of those click gears when we walked the course, and you know what was sitting right in the cup holder there was the Dirty Hands Clean Money orange water bottle straight from the Troll Cole website there, guys. Check that out. Absolute legend, baby. There you go. The Sharkus recipient of a membership there. Send some love Car Park's way if you happen to receive one of those. Oh, Sam Olsen. Love the Wyatt Langford play. Love it. Love it. All right, we are going to scroll the F down for pitcher, which means we do not have to take him first, which means we were going to take a Twins contrarian stack partner. What do you guys think? Ty France, or should we do Willie Castro again? We could also do Harrison Bader, but I'm scared of the pinch hit risk after Wallner didn't play yesterday. Let's go with Willie Castro again. It might be a little bit results oriented, but I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it. Vogie Berra runs out those left-handed Baltimore infield stack there. Love that as a contrarian stack. Sam Olsen going with Athletics, and then presumably Corey Seager with Wyatt Langford. Love that stack. Parker Meadows as a scroll the F down feels good. Our scroll the F down at the pitcher position here, probably going to be Kyle Harrison. People don't want to click it because it's scary to go against the Padres. I like the strikeout rate. I like what we've seen pitch mix wise. Let's do it. 100% Willie Castro day, courtesy of one of the best players on the site. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's see what one of the best players on the site happens to be building out. He was in the previous draft. He is no longer in this one. There's your 5-man Tampa Bay without Brandon Lau. I really like Brandon Lau today. There you go. Sam Olsen takes Corey Seager in the 3-2. Good stuff. Good stuff. We did a little bit of a Mets stack without Soto. Then we used Kyle Schwarber as the Soto replacement as a one-off homer pick. Then we used a 2-man Minnesota stack, hat tip to Numi with the Byron Buxton and the Willie Castro. And then Kyle Harrison. Feels like a good one. Feels like a good one. Car Park says he feels like Meadows will be off today. AJ said he wanted to keep it slow with him. That's a good little nugget there. We did not do a deep dive on the lineups on who could potentially be in or out today. So that's a good shout there. Yeah, I mean, he's been back for 2 days and he's been leading off, and it's lefty against Jared Schuster. So probably a great day to get Andy Ibanez at the top of that lineup. You could get some lefty killers from Detroit today. Like if you want to do a Torkelson plus Andy Ibanez plus Perez, or Rake Rogers as a home run pick today, let's go. Maybe we go searching. Maybe that's our kickoff point for the home runs. Let's go searching in the home runs lobby, and then we will do a football draft. Let's see. Let's search what we're getting on Detroit. Not the best hitting conditions in the world. I mean, what was it weather-wise? Wasn't popping for us. It's 58 degrees, but you get the White Sox terrible bullpen and you get a mid-tier starter. But let's see what we're getting with Detroit. Let's see what we're getting. Gleyber Torres versus a lefty with a 4.23. Not terrible. Colt Keith, don't want lefty. Parker Meadows, no thank you. Dingler may or may not be in there. They might play both catchers today, but I think Rake Rogers is a good spot today. McKinstry probably not in there. Carpenter off the bench, don't want it. Torkelson 264, probably a good scroll the F down one off. Sweeney's a lefty. Green's a man. We're not getting Rake Rogers out here. I really wanted Rake Rogers or Andy Ibanez as a scroll the F down, pick 'em, lobby pick where we could get a little bit of value. But we could shoot the moon on Gleyber Torres. I mean, not a huge power guy, kind of like a ceiling of 22 on the season guy. But yeah. Paid telling us that Soderstrom's fantasy points seem low. Okay. Okay. All right, let's use Gleyber as a one-off. Probably leads off today. He's the only right-handed power stick or power in parentheses with a crazy price tag that we can get to. And then we just go ahead and pair that with Soderstrom's 5.5. Check your prize box. Nothing in the prize box. Getting a 14x on that one. 50 gets us 740. A nice little, shoot the moon on the homer guy and then back it up with the fantasy points guy. Bobby Hill, thanking Car Park for the sub. Love to see it. Let's see what some of those Minnesota Twins are doing. They were scared to give us the home runs yesterday for the Twins. Let's see if things have changed in the lobbies here. Getting Sean Newcomb. Royce Lewis as a 3-2-4. Willie Castro, there's our guy. Car Park said it. It's going to happen again. The chat is buzzing right now about Willie Castro. There we go. Let's do Willie Castro at that 4.26. Harrison Bader might only get 2.5 ABs. No thanks on Bride. Jeffers may or may not be in. Perea, too low a price. All right, let's do the Willie Castro, man. When you're hot, you're hot. Let's see what some of the Phillies guys are, if we got some better prices on Phillies today. Adding a Philly home run. Schwarber with that 2-3-1. Let's add Schwarber to it and get us a nice, shoot the moon guy and then one of the best hitters in baseball for home runs alongside him. That 25 gets us 861. That seems fun. That seems fun. Wow, Jack Caglione. Dude, I learned 2 things about Jack Caglione today. His sister? Yep. Okay. Yep, he has a sister. Let's leave it at that. He has a sister. And his name is not actually Jack. It is like an acronym for his name. It's like, I can't remember what it is, but it's like John Allen Caglione or like something like that. His full name is it's an acronym, dude. So I just found that interesting. Those are my 2 fun facts about Jack today. But yes, we did find out that he had a sister. Okay, so if the Soler one's gone, damn, that Lawrence Butler price tag has come down a little bit. We like athletics as well. So let's take a look at athletics just real quick, see if we get a price tag that we like. Never Jacob Wilson. Denzel Clark is getting a massive one. JJ Bleday, 358. You could do worse. I mean, he's been scuffling, but he's back up now. Butler with a 2-3-3. Okay, let's play the hits out here. Let's do the Butler one. Marte, it's John Anthony. Okay. Thank you, Tolan. Tolan's in the chat telling me it's John Anthony is the official name. Yeah, that was my fun fact. Anyways. Let's play the hits a little bit out here. Let's do the Lawrence Butler one. And then let's see who else was popping for the ballpark pal. Who else was popping for the ballpark pal here in the home run zone? Buxton, Royce Lewis is popping. Rooker, Soderstrom, Butler. What's Wyatt Langford's price? I mean, we run the risk of that game not being played. But let's see what's up here. We don't have any Texas stuff yet. Let's see. Maybe they don't have it up. Oh, no, here we go. Langford getting that 3. Okay. I like it. Almost a 25x there for us. Ballpark Pal telling us Wyatt Langford, 26.3% probability on the slate. Up with the likes of Soderstrom, Royce Lewis, Buxton. Seems fun. That seems fun. Let's do it. Let's lock that pick in and go ahead and make the Langford plus Lawrence Butler. So a couple fun ones there. We did a more serious one at the start there. If you want to scroll the F up and find it in there. Oh, there you go. Okay. Tolan's messing with us. It's Jeffrey Allen is his full name. There we go. Do we ride with Junior Train? I mean, Junior's been hotter than hot. Let's see. Getting a 287 on Junior today. We could do a little double game environment one there. Man, Seager with a 219 and nobody's drafting him right now. He's free in the last round. All right, let's run one more. Let's ride the Junior Train because my guy Car Park is telling me Junior and Wyatt Langford, we're doubling down on the notion that Wyatt Langford is underpriced today. T-Bear with the righty killer narrative. Yeah, great spot for Seager to get. Our lefty killer narrative with Dylan Moore. All right, let's check Dylan Moore's price tag. Yep. Thank you very much to T-Bear. Let's shoot the moon here. Let's do a Baltimore left-handed one, probably O'Hearn to go alongside it. Yes, please. There we go. I like, now we'll have one live for the late night sweat as well. O'Hearn, ballpark's been playing a little bit better for home runs as we noted, but it might be noise in the sample. Let's do it. All right, Junior plus Wyatt is the first one. And then O'Hearn plus Dylan Moore, lefty killer in the second one. Shoot the moon, 44x. We did like 4 or 5 ones there. Yeah, do me a favor, hit the like for us, guys, please, and thank you. If you happen to be on the X side, roll on over to the YouTube side. I imagine many of you guys are rolling over from Pete's stream that is now ended, I imagine. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's get in there. All right, that concludes the baseball, guys. We did a couple drafts there. I'm going to do a couple more in the future here. And I think we are going to go ahead and draft a BBM team. I will flip on over browsers real quickly for you guys. Stop that screen. Share this screen so that we can go ahead and use the help of our friends at Legendary Upside to help us navigate these BBM waters. 20-second clock. This is BBM number 11. 4 more spots, 3 more spots. They are going quick. Let's do this. 2 more spots. We got to start maximizing our time here for BBM. Beautiful. Chris is in here. Troy is in here. Whole bunch of non-Badgers. Ryan Seals in here. Saw him become a member yesterday. Shout out to him. I see baby Stevie in here, longtime friend of the show. Josh BC, a good BC boy. Could be. Could be. I'm going to go ahead, restart the application there for the sidekick. Get that bad boy in there. I got a kind of updated set of my own rankings that are kind of mixed and matched. But yeah, we got the sidekick, we got my own custom rankings, and we got ADP mixed in here. Let's have some fun. Jamar Chase goes at the 101. I will be paying attention to the chat. What do we got here? 8 home run pick. 8 home run pick. Car Park, if you make an 8 home run pick and put it in the chat or message it to me on Discord, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. Do a quick BBM today, not a 7th inning stretch. We'll do another 7th inning stretch soon. I have not watched this yet. Emwald asking if I watched the Legendary Upside, guys. I saw Shady Advice and Pat and Sacrilegious were talking about this. I have not seen it yet, so I will check that out later. The rankings are telling me that we should go Amon-Ra St. Brown or Christian McCaffrey. Sidekick is telling me Neighbors. Let's take CMC, man. Let's have some fun. I was listening to Hayden and Josh the other day. I see 3 non-Badgers behind me that are going to be thirsty for running backs, so he's not coming back. Blake wants me to take Neighbors. But I see some thirsty for running back guys at the end here as they take 4 wide receivers. Yeah, Hayden and Josh did a show that I was listening to on the way home from golf yesterday. What is going on here? Why can't I just double click this and this just goes back to where it was like it was previously doing? They want me to push up Lad here. They do not love the running back start. But you know who does love the running back start? Me. We are not waving the sidekick. Lad McConkey, see you later. Smell you later, pal. Let's go double running back here. All the testosterone in the world. The Renaissance movement. The running back renaissance, we are calling it. Where the people want running backs back in their lives. Okay, there we go. I think we're good now. Boom. 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 All right. Slick. Let's do this. Let John scroll, baby. We're doing it. We're doing it. Yeah, and then they piss. Yeah, these guys are going to be thirsty for running backs 6 wide receivers later. Oh, Renaissance. Blake, my guy. I love that. Blake, how was your birthday, dude? The family do something nice for you? The kids make you some nice cards, bro? How was your birthday? Okay, guys. Real talk. Real talk. Not the hardest course in the world. Not the hardest course in the world yesterday. We shot 79. And I was quite proud of myself to break 80. And I still left meat on the bone. I missed a couple easy birdie putts and a couple easy par putts that I shouldn't have. Does it count that I broke 80? Because I don't break 80 all that often, right? Like a couple times a summer, maybe. Does it count that we played the front twice? Does it count? Because we teed off at like 440 or something like that. And it was so fucking slow on the front that we were just like, we're going to play the front again. Does it count? Egger's saying no. Blake telling us he had a good birthday. Low key. Low key is never a bad thing, bro. When you are with people that you love, low key is never a bad thing. All right. I like this pocket. I like this pocket of wide receivers that's coming back our way. I think I got to get some more Tet in my life. I have not been taking enough Tet. Sidekick is telling me JSN is the play. We need a wide receiver here. We do not afford the luxury of taking a quarterback here after we start running back. I think we got to piss for the next 3. I think we take JSN here. That feels like a good pick. That feels like a little bit of floor, a little bit of ceiling. It feels like an okay WR1 to start with. Let's go with it. Alan, golf, where you count only what you want. You're only cheating yourself. Card says great round. It counts. It does. By only playing the front twice, we miss out on one of the par 5s, which is a scoring opportunity. But we miss out on one of the par 5s, which means it's only a par 71, too. So it's tough. It's tough if the boys want to give me credit or not. Let's see what SK Money does here. He goes ahead and takes Brees. My ranks have Travis Hunter, who made a sick play in OTAs at corner the other day, ahead of Tet. Sidekick is telling me Tet. I want to get Tet in my life here. I also want, both are going to give us backstack quarterback options for sure. But I also want to get a little bit of exposure to some backstack Bryce Young, which I think the price when we see it for real in preseason and stuff is going to rise a little bit. Anyways, back to what I was listening to coming home from the course was Hayden and Josh did a nice little series, which I'm sure if you guys are watching me, you guys are already watching Josh and Hayden, but they did a nice little series on I think it was 11 was the number they chose. 11 debatable, player selections. And, I haven't made it all the way through yet. I'll listen to a little bit more of it when I walk the dog later. But Rashee Rice versus Tyreek Hill stood out to me decently. That one stood out to me. And then they did the Tet McMillan versus Hunter debate as well. And it kind of, messed with my head a little bit there where they're both on the Rashee Rice and Rashee Rice moving up side of the equation. And yeah. Another guy that I really want to get in my life right now is I want to get Caleb, dude. And not the Caleb that you're thinking about. I want to get Caleb Johnson. Man, I think they went out and they targeted him. A guy who can handle a workload, a guy who can run that outside zone. Like, I think I want to be the Caleb guy a little bit here. I know that they talk about him on that show. I haven't made it to the portion yet in which they do. I hope they're bullish on it because I was looking at those names, like just in the notes, the show notes or whatever. And I was like, man, I'm interested what we got on Caleb here. Interesting to see, like, some people are on the Ricky Pearsall side of the fence. Others are on the Juwan Jennings. As you guys can see, the sidekick is really prioritizing me pulling up Juwan Jennings here. Ryan goes ahead and takes Waddle. I really like Waddle in that range. I think Waddle's going to be like a faller. I'm seeing Olave on here. Sidekick telling me Juwan Jennings for some correlation with the San Francisco stuff. I think I want to take Addison. I think we can get Juwan Jennings on the way back. I'm looking at a bunch of guys who are working out off of ADP on the right-hand side of the board there. Juwan Jennings is, out of their peripheral vision here at like 64 in terms of ADP. I think we can still get Juwan Jennings on the comeback. This is where we got to use our brains a little bit here. and not wave the sidekick for a half second, I think the guys to my right are going to be really frothy for those running backs at the top of the board. And we're going to go ahead and be able to slide in a little bit of wide receiver value around this corner. Chris Olave gives us a back stack option. Juwan Jennings gives us a double stack option. Let's see where Ricky Pearsall is in terms of ADP. 74. My ranks have him at 94, so haven't been getting a lot of him. Unfortunately, Juwan Jennings goes there. Let's see. I think Sidekick's going to tell me Olave. They say Rome or Olave. We get some week 17 correlation. Let's take Olave. I want to be an Olave. I'm scared of the concussions. I'm scared of his history. I want to kind of be like, this guy was going in the second round last year. Like, let's just double down on that notion this year. That doesn't feel like insane. Like, Rome could be the best wide receiver on his team. He could also be like playing himself out of a job. Like, I'm not sure I want that variance in my life with that selection after we start 2 running back. Like, Rome could legitimately be, who we all thought he was. Wide receiver 2 in the draft class, top 7 pick in last year's draft. And now Keenan Allen's gone. And they're kind of fed up with DJ Moore from last year's antics. They're kind of regretting the money that they gave DJ Moore because of his pouting on the sideline and that sort of thing. And he becomes good UW boy, wide receiver 1. Definitely range of outcomes. Other range of outcomes is they spent all that money on Luther Burton, or not money, draft capital on Luther Burton. Luther Burton just comes off the street out of the draft and goes, bang, I'm better than all these guys. Luther Burton's the focal point. DJ Moore is still DJ Moore, and Rome is 3rd in the pecking order there. I think both could be true. Like, ranges of outcome, both could be true. But with me, like, I know the quarterback situation is murky for the Saints, but they're going to be trailing in like damn near every game. Their defense is going to be bad. Their offensive line is improved. Their running back is older now. I mean, obviously they added through the draft there, but Kamara, a little bit older now. They're just going to need him to be like alpha on the field when he is on the field, right? It's him, Brandon Cooks, Rashid Shaheed, and then nobody, Like, we played Bub Means and Mason Tipton in showdown slates last year and primetime paloozas, but they're not going to factor in, So we've executed this 2-4 start. I think we got to go Tony Redacted here. Sidekick is telling me we need more wide receiver. Oh, Jaden Reed's still on the board. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's take Jaden Reed. I was staring at this for a half second. Jaden Reed falling back to this side of the board after we start 2 running backs. That's a gift. That's a gift. I like that. We've recovered quite nicely from the 2 running back start. I think it'll still be a 5 running back team, but we've recovered nicely and we've given ourselves outs at quarterback with all 5 of these picks, and we haven't overlapped buys yet. This team, low key trending toward fucks on the sucks and fucks scale. We got a little bit of week 17 with the Carolina and Seattle start. Nothing on the Minnesota one yet. We could do Cooper Kupp and set up a double. Sidekick says Cooper Kupp's fine. We could take naked Kyler Murray, which I don't love. We could take Swift, or we could do Minnesota correlation. Let's do the Minnesota correlation. Let's do it. Let's do Aaron Jones with Jordan Addison. Could give us an out at putting JJ McCarthy on this team. This team is pretty dusty and old, but I like this. I like this. What I say out. Thoughts on Pacheco? Do we think it was just injured in the playoffs last season? Yeah, I mean, he's coming back from the same thing Tony Pollard came back from, and that Tony Pollard thing took like over a year to look almost normal. There was like some bullish coach speak stuff on him that people were like, holy shit, his ADP is going to rise because of it. What was it? There was a nugget on the site. Adds weight, looking healthy, looks tremendous in OTAs, put on some good weight. Like just the classic clickbaity shit at the start of the year that's going to get him pushed up. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it. I think his price tag is so palatable that it's like fine, but the pendulum can swing two ways, right? He can be the epitome of a dead zone running back where it's like we should have seen that coming, or he could be like an absolute smash. I don't think they want Hunt to see the field, right? Yeah, Andrews had that same one. Had the same tightrope ankle as well. Have you forgotten how good DJ Moore is at football? I think DJ Moore's forgotten how fucking good he is at football. DJ Moore hasn't showed us since that Thursday night game where he went nuke with Justin Fields how good he is at football. He could not get schemed open last year. Period. Like DJ Moore's a good player, but all right. So Brock Purdy is going to be here for us to do the stack. Rashid Shaheed goes. I like Mark Andrews here. Let's see what the sidekick likes. They like Love. We can push Love around the corner. They like Kelsey over Andrews. I think I like Andrews, but let's listen to the sidekick. Let's take Kelsey. Couple picks past ADP here. We got a strong running back room, even though it's a little bit older. We have some fun upside wide receivers with some question marks. You know, Jaden Reed bounce back, Chris Olave concussions. JSN, can he repeat what he did last year with Geno, with Sam Darnold? And then we got a dusty Travis Kelce. Feels fun. Feels fun. Man, they really want me to push up the quarterbacks. Like Jordan Love's ADP is 130. They want me to take him at 112. We're going to have a pick at 129 that hopefully he comes back to. I think we're going to nah wave the sidekick here. Man, I kind of like taking Andrews and shutting it down at tight end. I think it's Warren or Andrews. I reacted too slow. We get Warren. I don't love Warren, but he's probably fine on this team. This is definitely a 5 running back only team now. It's going to be a 3 quarterback team. It's going to be maybe a 3 tight end team, even though we have Kelsey. I think it would have been a 2 tight end team if we went ahead and just added Andrews. I think it would have just been a 2 tight end team. I've low key, like we talked about it the other day, I've been low key living in this range of the draft board, quarterbacks and tight ends. This is the sweet spot. Like round 9, 10, 11 right now feels like the sweet spot to just go ahead and take 2 tight ends and a quarterback, or 2 quarterbacks and a tight end, and then spend 5 pieces of draft capital at the onesies. That feels great to me. Yeah, holy Baker slide. I mean, here's the thing with Baker. Is Baker just like overpriced? Do we forget that he flamed out with the Browns? Like, I mean, a lot of his success can be attributed to him and being a former first round pick and, you know, whatever. But the bear case is he was a product of Liam Cohen. You know, he was a product of, you know, system quarterback. They're forced to throw a lot because the defense was really bad. They get in these up-tempo, like, NFC South shootouts for no reason, like this sort of thing. So we can poke holes in both theories. I don't know what is right or what is wrong, but when I was hanging out with the boys on the weekend there, we were watching the UEFA final there, the PSG game versus Inter on Saturday afternoon, right? And I was playing Guess the ADP, right? And these guys are football fans. These guys are football fans. They're well-versed home league bros. They play a little bit of Underdog. They play a little bit of Reacted, right? But like, I was like, what do you think, Mahomes' ADP should be? What do you think Baker's ADP should be? And like the bro science test is like those two shouldn't be close, you know? Like, are we just buying all his touchdowns from last year and paying like the surcharge? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know that I believe it. I like Baker. I thought Baker played really well last year. We built out Baker doubles. But yeah. Ooh, the Sharkus gets the value hound of Baker with Fields, but then still adds Drake May. I think I would have stuck with just two quarterbacks there. Once you get the value, you might have given a little bit of it back. All right, Sidekick wants us to do the Love and then the Bryce Young. That was a little bit of our plan anyways. Love comes all the way back to us. I think this is an easy pick for us. There's a bunch of tight ends on the board. I like Njoku. I think there's a chance Njoku comes back to us because both the drafters on the right-hand side of the board have taken a tight end already. So there's that. Yeah, not bad. But as you guys can see, like, look at the board. Like, this is sorted by ADP. All we're getting is purple, blue, green through this range, you know? Very interested to see what the Sidekick tells us. We have very balanced roster right now. A 1-4-5-1. Wow, JJ McCarthy going there is heartbreaking because we could have set up the double stack. It's telling us to push up Bryce. It's also telling us we could eat the Dak value here. Value in parentheses of the fall. Let's try it. This is going to be a 3-quarterback team anyways. Dak falls 20 picks in our room. We can still get a Jake Ferguson fall to go with it. Or we can do like a scroll the F down backdoor Dak. Let's do it. Yeah, backdoor Dak. There you go. NFC South's worse this year. I'll hear that argument. I'll hear that. Corey's saying basically the exact same argument as last year. Canales gone and he still balled out. Yeah, that's a very fair point. Fully agree with you, bro. Fully agree with you. I like that. Nothing changed other than Cohen and adding Ibuka. It's a good point. And he's going to get Chris Godwin back healthy, who they were missing at the tail end of last year. It's a great point. Yeah, I don't know. I was just making the bull case, bear case. I'm just laying out the argument. I don't know what side of the fence I'm on yet. I don't know what I believe. Yeah, like this is how I feel, Blake. Yes, I'll take the lower on 40 touchdowns for sure. Absolutely. You know, like he's not going to run that back. But he might, you know, like all right, this feels like we got the Jake Ferguson taken away from us from Baby Stevie, which is unfortunate. We could do like a Washington correlation with like Ertz or something later to make the Dak pick make sense. Jadon Blue's already gone. I mean, we could do like Dak plus like Miles Sanders as our 5th running back in the last round. I don't love it. We could still do like Turpin or something as a full scroll the F down here. Let's see what Peel Steele does. Okay, great. I think we take Romeo Dobbs here. It's telling us Bryce Young. ADP suggests Bryce Young could come back. Everybody else has 2 quarterbacks on the right-hand side of the board. If Bryce Young does not come back, we definitely have outs. I think it's more important for us to double stack Jordan Love there with a target that we want to be ahead of market on than it is to get Bryce Young. I know I said at the start of the draft that I want that Tet price plus Bryce Young, and it opens up a backdoor stack with like Sanders too if we want it, and completes our week 17 versus Seattle. But I think there's a good chance he comes back here. And if he doesn't, well, then we can just do Sam Darnold on the other side of that game. And given the fall of Dak, we might not even need 3 quarterbacks on this build. All right. I think we're taking 3 quarterbacks now that it comes back, though. Let's do Bryce Young. 3 quarterback pilled right now. One of them being a big faller. And we do exactly what we kind of intended. This like 10 or 9 through 12 range, we get 2 quarterbacks and a tight end. Because like that's the pocket. That's the pocket for me. All right. What else can we do here? The Shark is saying he's definitely due for regression, he being Baker Mayfield, but people are overstating how much. I think so. I mean, overstating who's overstating though? Because his ADP is still QB7, right? So I think it's still a notable talking point. Also, guys, if you guys are hanging out IRL with your buddies, it is a beautiful game as the underdog, bro, to get your buddies to guess what the ADPs are, or like what we did it, like guess the top 6, guess the first round, guess the first 2 rounds, and no hints and just rapid fire names. It's really fun. It's really fun because they'll start throwing out some crazy fucking names like Joe Mixon and like stuff like this that they think are like second round picks that are not, you know. First round picks, they think Breece Hall is still first round pick, right? Yeah, this is more or less here. Yeah, the regression talk doesn't match the ADP, but Sharkus is saying that, right? He's saying it's not the market; it's just best ball bros talking about the market. That checks out. This is definitely going to be 3 tight ends, right? We got to start thinking about 7 wide receivers or 8 wide receivers. A wide receiver, a tight end, a running back, and a luxury pick. Right? They want us to do the Sanders stack. Cade Otton is still available. We can wait on the Sanders one. Let's do Cade Otton first. Let's buy into a little bit of that Baker stuff. Let's do Cade Otton, and then we could take Sanders, and then we could scroll, baby. Then we'll be scrolling. In a vacuum, I prefer taking the running backs before the tight ends because the tight ends are usually always there. But I'm listening to the sidekick on this one. It's also fun to mix up your builds a little bit. But this is kind of what we were talking about the other day, guys. Like where it's like if you do these like 3 late quarterbacks, or you do like 2, and then like we did like Shuck with the Olave correlation, and then we could have added like Juwan Johnson or something like that. You can do like these super scroll the F down onesie positions in the last 2 pick, and that strengthens your other groups, your other position groups. Okay, Coker as a stack, Wicks as a stack, or Sanders as a stack. Let's do Sanders. Let's do Sanders. Let's listen to the sidekick. It was all part of the thesis beforehand. 3 tight ends, 3 different bye weeks. So we got 3 tight ends on this team, and we got 3 quarterbacks. I mean, we could only do 4 running backs if we really wanted to, and we could round this out with 2 wide receivers. But we're done at the onesies. We've spent 6 picks. I think in an ideal world, I only spend 5 at the onesies, but this can definitely win. I think I'm more open to spending 6 picks at the onesies early in draft season. And as we get later to like the August and September drafts, I will be doing way more like 2, 6, 8 twos and stuff like that. Right. Who's that Washington running back that Davis likes with the hyphened name? Corey Corksy Merritt. Not bad. Could be viable. I mean, I think we got to skinny stack the Dallas stuff, right? Krosky. Fucking Corksy. What did I say? Corksy? What a fucking idiot. Sean casually throwing down 2-hour streams on a Wednesday. We were blessed. Yeah, buddy. Much appreciated. Yeah, Corksy's like my buddy. Yeah. Passing it over to Corksy, bro. Actually, speaking of that, speaking of the puck bros, I played a team on Monday night, and I graduated high school in 2006, I guess, born in 88. The oldest guy on their team had full head to toe BCHL gear still on or whatever. The oldest kid on their team was born in 2004. Just nuts, man. We lost 5 Cobb, but we put up a fight. But like the fact that we're still out there with these kids, fucking get better, boys. Embarrassing that these 36 and 37-year-olds can still skate with you guys. Embarrassing. Kids these days, get better. All right. I think I got a plan here. They still want me to do the Coker or Wicks thing for the correlation. Totally makes sense to me. And they also have higher ADPs than my target. But I personally have to make the the Dak Prescott pick make sense. And I think the only way you do that is by taking Sanders, Tolbert, or Turpin. I think Tolbert's probably my favorite of the bunch. Turpin definitely had some explosive plays last year and was fun to play on those showdown slates and the primetime Palooza slates. But I think Tolbert's probably the better of the 2 picks. So we go ahead and do that. Now we got a 3-4-7-3 cooking here. CMC, Henry, Jones, and Warren. Is that a good enough team to go to battle without another running back on it? Or do we need a running back? I think we need another running back here, guys. I think we need another running back. Can this be a 4 running back team and we just tack on? I think we got to take like Ford or something and just give ourselves an out at some usable weeks at running back. Let's scroll the F down and take Taj Brooks. Might be a 0. Might be a 0 RB target that wins the year for you. I don't know. Was that a bad pick? Was that a bad pick? Were we good with 4 running backs? Did we just add a 0 to our roster for no reason? Let's break it down. 5. Holy fuck. 3, 5, 7, 3. Jordan Love, a big Dak Prescott 20 pick fall, and Bryce Young at ADP for the stack. Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry. Maybe it's unique, maybe it's not. Who knows? Aaron Jones, Jalen Warren, which was probably a mistake in hindsight. The Warren pick was probably a mistake. I probably should have taken Mark Andrews and then only used two spots at tight end there. And then Taj Brooks for the scroll the F down potential hammer if things break right. JSN, Tet, Addison, Olave, Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Tolbert. A little bit on the thin side, especially if Addison faces a suspension, and given the injury history of Olave and given the binary outcome in weekly scoring, the spikiness of Jaden Reed, probably could have used one more wide receiver, especially if Tolbert is a nothing burger now that Pickens is there. And then Kelsey, Otten, Sanders. Where did we go wrong? Maybe we went wrong with the Warren pick. Maybe we went wrong with the Cade Otten pick. And this was better served as a 2 tight end team with just Sanders and Kelsey. And we just go, Kelsey's underpriced. He bounces back. Sanders is a breakout candidate. What do you guys think? RB retirement home ass team. Please take another running back, I beg you. Harvey Bulls are in shambles because J.K. Dobbins is visiting Denver. Wow. 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 Okay. I don't like that for anyone. I mean, maybe that's fine for Dobbins, but I don't love that for anybody, no? I wanted to be able to take Audric Estime in the last round. I wanted to be able to take Jaleel McLaughlin in the last round. Best scrolls for the Packers to stack up here. Duke is telling me Dontavian Wicks was available. Savion Williams was available. He'd rather I take Emmanuel or take Musgrave. Yeah. I mean, there's a thesis out there with when we go back in time with the Luke Musgrave stuff that once upon a time he was just drafted ahead of Tucker Kraft in the real NFL draft. He dealt with some injuries. Tucker Kraft flip-flopped him, and now we're just treating that as absolute. Maybe there's a chance they still like Luke Musgrave. And Emmanuel Wilson would have filled the void of running back there. And using Emmanuel Wilson, who had some nice usable games last year, and then using Emmanuel Wilson instead of Taj Brooks for the correlation and as a little bit more contrarian of a piece. Good shouts. Good shouts. What do you guys think? Does it suck or does it fuck? Sucks or fucks, train? Does it suck or does it fuck? Let's take one last look here. If we had passed on Jalen Warren here, we could have added Christian Kirk. We could have added Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman plays the Eagles in week 17. We didn't have any Eagles, but just second-year breakout potential. Yeah, this is just a bad pocket for wide receiver. So it would have been Christian Kirk or Coleman, I guess. Or you pass on Kelsey. Now, I guess Rashid Shaheed would have been a good pick for us because we had Olave, and then we could hold off on taking Young and then just take the later of the 2 ADPs in Shuck and Young. But obviously Shuck has a way bigger ceiling tethered to Tet. Or sorry, Young has a way better ceiling tethered to Tet than Shuck does to Olave and Shaheed. One would think. I don't know. That's not absolute. Not bad. No, we're done. We're done drafting. We're gonna do one more. We are gonna do one more of the pick'ems for the puck game tonight. So we have we got some irons in the fire there, but that'll be that. Short wide receivers and skyscrapers at tight end in the 12s. Love to see it. Good chance they share workload and stink together. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I think Jeff is back in time right now. And he said, if you rarely do it, fuck yeah, it counts. I hope he's talking about breaking 80. Pat Moore asking how many BBMs we've done so far. I think this was number 12. That was number 12. I think I'm probably going to finish baseball drafting, and then I'll probably do 2 cardio club tonight or tomorrow BBMs. So if you guys are looking for me, I'll be in the lobbies. I think I'll probably do 2 as a cardio club and go for a nice long bike ride here. Probably tomorrow morning, to be honest. My body's pretty sore from some other stuff. All right, guys, let's go in the pick'em lobby. Let's get something cooked up for the finals here. Stanley Cup finals tonight. We could play a little bit of like a game correlation narrative and be like, who's cooking out here? But I'm going to go with what I also want to win in the Zamboni. This is not financial advice. This is fun, sweat alongside John for the finals tonight, straight from the heart. Connor McDavid's year. Connor McDavid's year. He gets 4 shots on goal tonight. He gets 4 shots on goal tonight. They get some power play opportunities in a big, big way. I'm about it. We also need Brad Marchand in a big way tonight. He's only getting a 1.09x on a point this evening. That doesn't feel great. Okay, you know what? Let's just double check real quick before we do this. Live, best ball, NHL, Big Zamboni, friends and family in here, Chris G, Iron Penguin, Inthrius, GA. We are counting on Sam Bennett, Connor McDavid, Brad Marchand, Sam Reinhart, RIP Zach Hyman, Seth Jones, Evan Bouchard, and Sergei Bobrovsky. Okay. Back to the lobby we go. Where's Sam Reinhart at? Sam Reinhart, we're going to need a bingo from you tonight. And that is going to be positively correlated with Sam Bennett. The Sams to Sams. He gets a point tethered to that one. Corey Perry, no more chiseling points. You're done, bud. And then the fantasy points on Bobrovsky, because he's stopping the biscuit tonight. Positively correlates. The fantasy points positively correlate. Let's see. Oh, yeah. It doesn't even give us a boost. Do you guys see that? It actually takes our pick'em lower. I was about to say, that's too positively correlated. All right. Corey Perry, 40 years old. We're out on him. McDuss glazing. Damn right. McDuss getting biscuits on net tonight. Sam Reinhart with the bingo. Sam Bennett chisels an apple on said bingo. The first Gino. Corey Perry, no more chiseling free points on the power play off of McDavid and Dries. Tonight is Florida's night. What do we think about that? What do we think about that? Should we take the Corey Perry one out because we want McDavid shooting and one of them might go in, and do like, let's do a Vander Kane. What do you guys think? Let's check. Okay, hold on. Let's just make sure here that everything's staying the same. Sorry, I had to sneeze. All right. McDavid is going to stay on that line with Nuge and Corey Perry by the looks of it. Leon and Kane. Kane is going to stay on power play 2. Okay. That checks out. We're telling a logical story thus far. Reinhart is going to play not alongside Sam Bennett, but they're going to play power play 1 together? No. So there's a flaw in our story here. There's a flaw in our story. Okay. I mean, it can still happen, obviously, but it's not as positively correlated as we thought it was. So we should take out Sam Bennett and we should add Brad Marchand, who's going to play on the power play together. And that gets us a little bit more of a boost. Okay. The Rat, Brad Marchand, Sam Reinhart. No. We're telling the same story, but in a different way now. No, we don't want that. Oh, no, they're on the power play 2 together. So we just need a power play 2 goal and then a little bit of overlap. Okay. Skinner lower on the saves. Okay. To make it to 5. Okay, let's see if that's good or not. Yes. That is what we needed. Blake pushes it over the top for 27x. All right. Let's have some fun. 27x. L-worded in. 50 USD gets you 1367.50. Connor McGoat, a.k.a. Connor McDust. Higher on 3.5 shots on goal. Sam Reinhart with a bingo. Evander Kane fade because he's an asshole in real life. Brad Marchand with the higher on the 0.5 points to go alongside Sam Reinhart. Damn. We should have used Sam Bennett. I knew it. Okay. Hold on. Live. Pick 'em. This one. We're going to cancel it real quick. Okay. I messed up, guys. I messed up. Okay. Skinner lower. McDavid on the points. Sam Bennett on the bingo. We want Sam Bennett to score. Sam Bennett on the bingo. Marchand on the apple. We just add the point there. I mean, we could really tell a story and move it to assists, but I don't think it's necessary. So there, and then the Evander Kane fade. Evander Kane lower on the points. Gets us to 30x. So it's even better than the previous 12 and 27. And we play power play 2. Okay. There we go. That's the story we're trying to tell. That was the story all along. There we go. Yeah, we're in our bag right now. We are in our bag right now. That's a lot of fun. Okay, I put that one in the chat. Be mindful, guys. Be mindful, as I always say, that this is, 30xer. We're doing these 30xers and stuff like that. Yeah. So we're messing around. Our guy Len Keith is hanging out. It's so weird. I have the same slip. Oh, no. That one's, we fixed that out. We fixed it. All right. Slide Perry and Lundell to 2 points each and have some fun tonight. I don't know if that's fun. You think Perry's just going to chisel a couple on the power play? We'll do it for our guy Keith, though. All right. Jack says this plays. He loves the oil. All right. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. Antoine Lundell, slide the points. And go ahead and slide Corey Perry. Chiseling a couple off McDavid's ass. 50x. Let's do it. All right. The massive slider. We're cheering for bingos tonight. We're cheering for a good series. We're cheering for the Oilers. I hate to say it. I want to see McDavid get a cup. I want to see him get a ring. This could be like the Cavs Warriors of our generation, guys. These Florida versus Oilers series. Eggers is on something. All right, guys, almost 2.5 hours. If you made it this far, you clearly are an enjoyer of the platform and maybe an enjoyer of my/our content. So do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, notification, drop a comment below or something like that, even if it's this guy's an idiot, just to help the old algorithm so we can keep growing. I appreciate you guys so much. We'll be back tomorrow at the normal time with both Nez and I. A little bit lighter MLB slate, if memory serves. Yeah, and then Nez will be back for probably 2 shows on Friday there. So yeah, help that algo, please and thank you. Jack saying he's got a G note on 2 Perry goals this series. Love it. So hopefully you get it tonight, bro, with those 2 points alongside us there. Great stream. Thank you so much. All right. Much love to the community. Go back and check out our guy, Pat Moore Poker. Joined Pete on the Best Ball Bash there. Go check that one out involving him. We'll be back tomorrow. Everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace. Enjoy the games tonight. Good luck. Mr. Good Boy knows what time it is.